Yo, somebody check Twitch.
Okay. I'm checking. Yep.
It's episode 7, right?
This is 8. It looks like we are live right now on Twitch.
Oh,
Look pretty cool.
all right. Y'all should see the names updating. All right, we're good. We're golden. All right.
All right. We're live?
We're live, people.
All right. I'm going to try to retweet this really quick while...
Me too. I'm retweeting right now.
Oh, nice.
I'm just drinking.
That's weird. That's weird. It's like it auto tweeted out. It says 3 beats later, the Doors sample. We'll have to figure that out.
Because of the name of last week, probably.
Yeah. Let's see. Can I tweet this? Copy link. There we go. Live now. Tame Impala.
I'll wait for you, Corey.
samples.
I'll just retweet your tweet.
Okay. Did that even work? See if that worked. I don't know. Check. You could just check the 3 beats later Twitter.
You just said 3 beats later the door sample.
Yeah. So that's the actual live stream. That link. You know what? Let me grab the link instead.
Okay.
That'll be easier.
Live now. Okay. Yeah. No. I see the live now. Yeah.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. We're good. We're golden.
We are golden. Okay. All right. Who wants to do this intro, huh? What's up, everybody?
What up, man? I feel
What
like
up,
we're
man?
really late in the game, so it's getting really weird, man. It's getting really gnarly. Really freaking gnarly, man. Doing the Tame Impala. 3 beats later.
Usually it's P that's kind of like doing the whisper presentation. But now I'm doing the whisper presentation too because I got a baby in the background.
Right.
So this is gonna be the whisper episode. What's up, everybody?
We get to hear Corey extra sexy on the late night. Night check-in.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3 Beats Later. I don't know who wants to start this off.
Chris.
Welcome to 3 Beats Later. Welcome back to 3 Beats Later. This is episode 8 of 3 Beats Later.
3 beats later.
3 Beats Later. This is what we do. We come together once a week for your listening enjoyment. And normally I have an accent and Corey has a guitar, but not today. So today we are going to jump into it. But before we do have a guest producer that submitted a beat for us. P, would you like to introduce this producer?
Yes, there's a producer who's a friend of mine. He's a real incognito cat.
He's a friend of all of us, but he's
very, very few people have seen him. In the real world, he exists. On another plane, another ether. Goes by the name Stone Phalanges.
Stone Phalanges.
Yeah,
I like that.
I've known him for a while, but I didn't even know he made music. So apparently, he heard about our nice little beat channel and he decided to submit a beat. And not only did he submit a beat, but he submitted a beat within the challenge that we are doing this week, which is kind of crazy because, he had the time to get the sample together and submit it.
Kudos to Stone Phalanges, man, for that.
So high regards and high amounts of kudos to Stone Phalanges for coming out.
Yeah. I think he secretly submitted his beat before we were done with our beats, right?
Yeah. Like he made me step my game up. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, like after I heard his beat, I was like, I gotta kind of rethink this the way I'm doing it. So he actually changed the trajectory of this challenge this week. So
wow.
So Stone, you get production credit for P's beat today. All right, so
Indeed,
Corey's gonna
indeed,
play the
indeed.
track so we can
Oh yeah, let me do
take a
that.
listen to it.
Yeah, so let me share my screen. I'll play the track really quick here. This is Stone Phalanges. Thanks for participating in the beat challenge. So again, anybody who listens and wants to partake, you could do that. Just make a beat and then send it to us or tag us or email us. Here you go. Stone Phalanges. All right. That was Stone Phalanges. Could you guys hear that? I don't know. My audio was like really
No, I
low.
heard that. Yeah,
I can hear it.
Okay, great.
Big shout out to whatever that message you got was. That was
I just want to say, wow, that was a great, first beat that you would hear from someone that you never heard who made beats. I was like,
right.
wow.
The name is pretty
dope. I
cool.
could
And what's
actually
crazy
spit to that.
is because we're all nerds, the name of the beat was you can store it forever. So big shout out for the name of that beat and you chopping that sample to actually make it say that in the sample. That's dope.
Is that hey Pete, do we know if that's the first beat ever from Stone Phalanges?
I've actually heard him do some other like art projects that had music that he put together. So I don't want to say that's the first beat, but
So now you gotta rethink your whole friendship. Like, yo, have you been making beats all this time?
Yeah, recontextualizes the entire project. Yes, it does. Very much.
Like, wait a minute. You've been secretly making all my beats?
That's awesome.
Right, so big shout out to Stone Phalanges, man. Please partake in the next challenge. I propose a change to how our challenges go, and I've suggested this in our group. But is anyone down with the new way of selecting our challenge? Let me explain why. to everyone, my suggestion is so to the right of Corey's head, you'll see. Well, to the left of Corey's head, you'll see a list of challenges. And each challenge, we all picked 4. And so there's 12 challenges. So my proposal is that the winner gets to pick the challenge. The stipulation is they cannot pick their own challenge.
See, I don't want to. I wouldn't want to have like a debate about it on on live, but my whole thing is like, when we're going through who wins, it's just us. It's just us 3. So it's like you're really getting like who's the best out of just like you're always gonna grade me and P. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna grade you and P. You know what I mean? I don't know. We could do it.
We'll stick with the original way for now. We'll talk about it offline.
We could do. Yeah, I'm saying like for this time.
The wheel is fun though.
The wheel of misfortune.
I mean, just the fact that I won it 3 weeks in a row makes me feel pretty good.
That's why I don't want these mail.
I've gotten all my dreams. Actually, I can lose now. I mean, I got Tame Impala. That was really what I wanted. So,
all right.
Well, I win forever. As far as I'm concerned, I win forever.
That was.
By the way, guys, cheers. I gotta hide the logo, but cheers to 3 beats later, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Bam. Here's the episode 8. So that was the only thing that I was thinking about changing it to was if you win the wheel 3 weeks in a row, then you cannot win the 4th week. Because that's 3 in a row of your challenges.
That's 3 beats. That's 3 beats later. That's literally, I can feel the names.
Yeah, 3
Exactly.
beats later. Now you got to switch it. Unless we change it to 4 beats.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna jump in, guys. I'm gonna jump in because I've been chosen to go first against my will. So I'm gonna do this thing.
All right, let's do it. Let's hear the beat.
All
Tame
right.
Impala.
Tame Impala.
Keep in mind, E was like, Tame what?
I don't even know what it. Listen, first of all, let me say this right here. Tame Impala is dope. I had no idea they existed until last week, and then boom, like they're like dope. They have so many great songs. So, in fact, I'm going first because I'm pretty sure someone else took the same song. So here we go. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna play my track, and then I'm gonna break down how I made the beat. So here we go. Hope you guys are ready.
Where do you see yourself in 20 years from now?
If God give me breath for 20 more years, I see myself changing the world. Because my thought patterns are so opposite of what's the norm.
Really?
So I would have to change the world, or I have to be changed by the world, by the world, by the world.
Heavy on my mind, I've been stressing it. Dealing with the pressures of the world, you know that can get crazy to say the least. I'm hoping for signs of peace, I'm knowing that we should be all living in unity. But we got agendas causing us to divide. Dealing with demons they can no longer hide. That's what we're facing now. They wanna take our differences and make us go to war. You hating me, I'm hating you, but what we fighting for? Really it's just to keep us lost and confused. We outraged at what we see in the news. This is the media though. They show us stories that'll make us hate each other, forgetting that we're all supposed to be sisters and brothers. They really playing us to do the dirty work for them. Chaos of me, I'm the us, but what's it worth to them? They power tripping, stripping of us all our rights now. Just open up your eyes and you can see the light now.
I've been waiting for this time to say it. How could I ignore? How was I to know it's time to say it?
So this is how I made this beat. So originally, when I was sampling Tame Impala, I had a whole different concept in mind, a completely different idea, a completely different beat, and I just really wasn't sold on the track that I had picked. And so I kept digging, and I found this track right here. And I was very impressed with the track because it spoke to me, but I really wasn't sure what it was saying, and it just made me feel away. So um, this is the track that I selected by Tame Impala, which eventually ended up being this track that I use here. So I'll play a little bit of the track.
Play the track. Don't make my mistake.
Okay, I won't play the track. You're right. So the track is called Borderline by Tame Impala. And I heard it and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And so I grabbed the sample and I said, let me see what I can do with this thing. And so So when I heard that, it put me in a mood. Like I was like, it was real mysterious, real dope, but also real heavy. So I knew it had to be a real serious track. It had to be a deep enough track to make it make sense to the beat. So I went ahead and played some keys over it just to kind of double up the chords that are in the track. So I just threw this in here, just kind of like I use a VST called Electrics on this one. It's an old school VST that's just like a electric keyboard. So I just use this. It's actually pretty cheap right now. It's a $10 VST. I grabbed it online a couple days ago, and it just plays out like this. So just played that over the beat because that's in the beat. When I raise this to the transpose of the sample, that's the notes that it ended up playing. So I just played that. This is Electrics right here. It's pretty cool. Dope VST, real small, doesn't take up a bunch of space. And like I said, it's only $10 right now at ADSR right now. So shameless plug. And I threw the bass in. Obviously, the bass has to be dope on a sample track. So I grabbed the bass, jumped in, and so that was my bass line. And I got a little vinyl sample to go over the whole track to give it a dope feel. So for actual production, for the beat itself. Now, I also at the beginning of the track, I know you heard the sample. It was a Tupac interview, and it was a real rare interview. And Tupac is basically, he's asked the question, where would he be in 20 years? And he says, I want to change the world. He said, because I think differently than most people, and either I change the world or the world would change me. And I thought even more like that's real deep, and that's basically how I live my life. So I'm like, yo, that's really, it makes sense for the concept of the track that I was on. So I grabbed that sample.
If God gives me breath for years, I see myself changing the world because my thought patterns are so opposite of what's the norm.
Really?
So I would have to change the world, or I have to be changed by the world.
So grab that and threw that in there. And now here's the drums. So I got to the drums and I use Playbeat. Now Playbeat is dope because it allows you to program a beat automatically. Now I still program my own beat, but I like the flexibility that it gives me because it allows me to do pitch shifts within the actual software. So I use this string right here, and a little bit of this right here. So very simple beat, very simple pattern. I wanted to keep it like the old school, I got something to say type of sample. Last night I wanted to hear like a drum drop on my track when it transitioned from the chorus to the verse. And so I went and grabbed this sample from the Roots. And on the track called Silent Treatment, they had this really dope drum loop intro. And I grabbed that and I just took it and threw it on the track. So
I love that song.
So this is all I did on that. I just grabbed.
Definitely one of my favorite Root songs.
That was the first Root song I ever heard, actually. All right, so you'll hear it in the track. For some reason, I can't play it, but so then I went ahead and I'm like, you know what? I want vocals on this track. So I sang the vocals on the track. I wrote it out last night. I sang the vocals on the track, but I contacted a couple people that I know that P knows. And I was like, hey, I need your vocals on this track for me, because Corey suggested last week that we solicit help from other people outside of our 3 Weeks Later camp. So I'll play you what I vocalized. I won't call it singing, but what I spewed from my face.
I've been waiting for.
I've been waiting for all this time to say it.
That's what I did. And then I called Chanel, who was on a couple of P songs. A big shout out to Chanel. And I was like, hey, I need you to send me these vocals over this track.
Believe. All right, I gotta interject. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I can't let these atrocities continue. You really called Chanel? Yo, shout out Chanel.
Big shouts to Chanel. Can I finish? Can I finish? Because there's more.
Right,
there's
fine.
more.
Okay.
There's more. There's more. So I called Chanel, and of course Chanel blessed it. So Chanel just did her thing on the track, and she sent it to me. Now, dope, good. Amazingly enough, all of this was recorded on iPhone, right in the audio recorder on iPhone, and sent to me and loaded into Ableton, and then edited through Ableton. So my vocals, her vocals, all from iPhone. So here are her vocals.
I've been waiting for all this time to say it. How could I ignore? How was I to know it's time to say it?
All right, so that was her vocals. And I was like, you know what? That's really dope. But let me see how far we can take this. So I called Ashley. And I got Ashley to send me her vocals too. And so now this is what Ashley sent me back. P.
I've been waiting for all this time to say it. How could I ignore? How was I to know it's time to say it?
So I was like, you know what? That's dope. So let me jump on the track too. So I rapped a verse, but I didn't want to use my voice. I wanted it to be deeper and more raw. So I transposed my voice using this really cool track, this VST called Nectar 3. So for Nectar 3, here's what I did to my own vocals.
Lately things have been heavy on my mind. I've been stressing it, dealing with the pressures of the world. You know that can get crazy to say the least. I'm hoping for signs of peace. I'm knowing that we should be all living in unity, but we got agendas causing us to divide. Dealing with demons they can no longer hide. That's what we're facing now. They want to take our differences and make us go to war. You hating me, I'm hating you, but what we fighting for? Really, it's just to keep us lost and confused. We outraged at what we see in the news. That's just the media though. They show us stories that'll make us hate each other, forgetting that we're all supposed to be sisters and brothers. They're really playing us to do the dirty work for them. Chaos and mayhem to us, but what's the worth to them? They power tripping, stripping of us all our rights now. Just open up your eyes and you can see the light now.
So that is my track. So this is Education, Emory McMillan Education, and this is how I made that beat. I'm done.
Bravo, sir.
Awesome. That's sick, man. That whole track is sick. And that's so Nectar is a pitch shifter on the voice.
So Nectar, let me dive into Nectar real quick for you since you asked. So Nectar is multiple things. I'm going to go into a vocal track. Well, I'll play mine first, but then I'll also play another one so you can see how versatile Nectar is real quick. I'll try to do it quickly though. So here's my rap on Nectar without, let me turn Nectar off and you'll hear my rap.
Lately things have been heavy on my mind. I've been stressing it.
That's me with just raw audio from an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Here's with Nectar.
Lately things have been heavy on my mind. I've been stressing it, dealing with the pressures.
So what Nectar can do, it allows you to harmonize your vocals, change your vocals. I can create as many harmonies as I want. It also allows you to not auto-tune, but kind of pitch correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can change the shift of your actual vocal. So right here,
yeah,
the
Lately things have been
Heavy on my mind.
I've been stressing it.
dealing with the pressures of the world. You know that can get crazy to say the least. I'm hoping for signs of peace. I'm knowing that we should be all of it in unity, but we got a
So, and then it also has this reverb, harmonies, compressor, EQ, all in one actual track. One VST. So to me, it's pretty dope. I love it, and I use it only when I'm using vocals, though.
I'm a purist, and I would say like there's no reason to pitch shift your voice, but that sounds sick too.
Normally I wouldn't care, but I wanted it to match the tone of the track, and the track is real deep and real.
Yeah.
So, and there's another reason why I did it as well, but I don't want to say that.
It really sounds like someone else. But shout out to the singers too. Holy crap! And that was just all iPhone audio.
Yeah, just from the audio recorder and an iPhone, and I just grabbed it, locked it in the track, and so let me show you real quick. Lastly, what I did to their vocals. So this is how incredible they are. They both are like great singers. So here's where we are with Ashley's vocals. So without Nectar, this is her.
I've been waiting for all this time to say it.
This is with Nectar.
How could I ignore? How was I to know it's time to say it?
So that's her, and then Chanel's vocals without Nectar.
I've been waiting for all this time to say it. How could I ignore? How was I to know it's time?
So it really builds it up, but I mean, when you start out with good quality, it's difficult to mess it up. So big shout out to them. And yeah, so
shout out Ashley.
Wow.
Shout out Chanel. I'm very impressed
I'm
that
done,
you did a
guys.
whole record.
That's nice, man.
Very,
That's a great.
very-
A couple of things. That's just a great sample selection too. It's always tough. Like this is the challenge I had this week too. I'll talk about it when I go through my stuff. But just like taking a sample and using some sort of low pass to kind of like allow someone to rap on top of it, and getting, you know what I mean, like just like letting everything that you put on top of it fit within the mix. You know what I mean?
it's hard to do.
Yeah, it's very tough sometimes. So that's my challenge.
Especially if you like the sample. Like if you actually like the sample and you really, really like you find the sample you like, it's difficult to find how you want to pitch it down or change it to make it fit into a song.
Yeah, and you can even like I'll talk about this too when I go through my beat, but it's like you kind of have the just like beat tape mindset, like where you could let the beat live as just a beat, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you want to like let that sample rock.
Yep.
And then you have all right, I'm a producer, we're going to make a track out of this. So I need to make room for the vocalists and I need to make room for, the lyricist or whatever. But that's really good. Well done. Well done, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, sir. See,
He knows he killed it this week. That's why he's being
I
so
really didn't
sly.
want to go
He's
first.
being
I did
so
not.
sly right
No. You know, E's confidence level in his beat is always by how badly he wants to go last.
I wanted that doesn't matter.
When he jumps on and he's like, Yeah, I'll go last. It's because he knows that's how much
No,
he
it's not
believes in
that.
his
It's not
beat.
that. Sometimes it's just because I really just want people to forget. Like I just want people like, yo, I'm gonna tune out now. I heard great music and they don't hear mine. That's really what I want to do.
All right. Well, I'm glad I'm not going next.
Oh, I guess that's me, huh? I'm going next.
You made the order.
He set the
All right.
lineup.
So I'm gonna open my session now because I was having some MIDI board issues earlier. So I'm opening it live. And I just gotta check one quick thing just to make sure we're good, and then I'm gonna take it.
We are in.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna.
I was gonna say if you guys wouldn't mind going on mute so I can.
Oh yeah.
Keep green. But if you have any last words.
Nope. Rock it.
Last word.
Hope you're ready for Lame Empanada. That's the name of my beat. It's a play on Tame Impala. Haha, very funny, right? All right, so let me just check one thing really quickly. I just loaded my session. Just want to see real quick. All right, that didn't work. Okay, that worked. This all works. And that all works. All right. So I'm gonna go dark just because it's gonna be cooler that way. So you can see my pretty MIDI board light up. Isn't that cool? All right, like Christmas trees. My name is Piso Ertone, and this is the Tame Impala Week. This is how I make it. Let's go.
You're not sharing. Not sharing.
There we go. There we go.
Not sharing.
There we go. There we go.
Not sharing.
There we go. There we go.
What is happening, guys? Not sharing.
We got stuck in a vortex right there.
So Pete, you gotta go close out Twitch if you have Twitch open or YouTube open.
Okay. I think we could try this again.
Here we go. Anticipation.
All right. Corey, you gotta go on mute. Sweet. Okay. I'm Piso, and this is how I made it. Tame Impala.
Planets and stars will become dust, and the dust will become atoms, and the atoms will become waves will continue breaking through the rift at the heart of the Medusa cascade. Every single chord
I became so scared. I became so scared. I had everything that I almost got headaches when I lost it. And I became so scared. And I became so scared. That I almost got headaches when I lost it. And I became so scared. And I became so scared. That I almost got headaches when I lost it. And I became so scared. And I became so scared. That I almost got headaches when I lost it. And I became so scared. And I became so scared. That I almost got headaches when I lost it. And I became so scared. And I became so scared. That I almost got headaches when I lost it. And I became so scared. And I became so scared. That I almost got headaches when I lost it.
Word. My name's Piso, and that's how I made it, y'all. So I'm gonna break down how I made this beat. I promise, Corey, I won't play the sample. Um, I had some audio issues when I first started this, so you'll have to excuse me. Like I said, I had to restart my session, and for some reason, my levels were all wacky. So it's probably really crazy when I first started playing. But initially, I sampled two Tame Impala songs. This was my week, so I definitely wanted to. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Um, this was my week, so I definitely wanted to go deep with the Tame Impala. So I sampled two Tame Impala records. The first one was Eventually, which is just one of my favorite records. It just reminds me of like a classic Beatles record, just when you listen to it, but it's like upgraded with these thick sonic sounds in it, and I just knew that it would sound cool. So when I found that sample, I kind of just played it, and it worked out really well. So the other track that I sampled from Tame Impala was a one called Expectation. And this is another one of my favorite tracks. I mean, like I said, it's no secret that I'm a big Tame Impala fan. This one I chopped up into four different kind of patterns that I liked. So let me just go through them real quick. This one was just more. The whole and I had this other part. And then I just chopped it up even more. I just wanted to get more and more just choppier, you know. I just liked how it sounded the more I manipulated it. Actually, I kind of got this from E earlier this week when he was showing me how to mess around with samples. So thanks for this, E. But I knew that he was gonna come with this like ridiculous Tupac sample, so I wanted to put some like crazy vocal stuff on there. So I found this really cool Doctor Who sample. Let me play this real quick. It's long, but it's cool.
Ever faltering, ever fading. People and planets and stars will become dust, and the dust will become atoms, and the atoms will become nothing. And the wavelength will continue, breaking through the rift at the heart of the Medusa cascade into every dimension, every parallel, every single corner of creation. This is my ultimate victory, Doctor. The destruction of reality itself!
So, you know, I was just
Hold on. I don't want to interrupt your beat breakdown. What the?
yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Basically,
Wait, you keep going.
I was on a quest to destroy reality.
No, you were on a Willy Wonka boat about to enter the tunnel. That's what that was.
This is definitely like a J Electronica like sample to throw on your beat. I just wanted to get super weird, and I didn't even stop with that. I found this Bjork sample, and this, if I ever go on YouTube, guys, and look up Bjork talking about a television, because it's about a 2-minute clip of her talking about how she thought that TV was bad and she stopped watching it because it made her crazy. And then she said that the person who told her that was an Icelandic poet who's really like a witch who lied to her, and that you shouldn't trust Icelandic poets. It was the trippiest audio clip ever. So I took a piece of it. So this is Bjork on this. Shout out Bjork saying this, that she used to be so scared of television because it always gave her a headache when she used to.
And I became so scared. And I became so scared to television that I always got headaches when I watched it.
So that was in there as well. But let's talk about the drums real quick, because the drums were kind of freaky. Once again, I wanted to do a bunch of really loud, harsh sounds in this record. Like I wanted to make it just sound crazy. Like I didn't want to be conventional with this. So I put this weird sound in here. Sounds like a jet taking off or something like that. But the drums were still kind of having almost like a West Indian vibe to it. I'm using a lot of these percussion sounds that sound like someone's knocking on a door, because it sits between a kick and a snare. And I like the feeling of it because you can do whatever you want with it pattern wise, and it just feels good. So that's what I did with this record. That's also an 808 that I pitch shifted up and down, just to match the tone of the sample. So, that's a very...
And I watched it. And I became so scared. Television that I almost got headaches when I watched it.
So that was kind of the first part of the beat. And as you guys know, I like to make different sections of the beat. So I took it into another direction with the other sample, which is kind of in 2 parts. But I also added some drums to this. So let's talk about the drums on this one. I wanted the drums to sound different. So that was kind of like a weird, kind of like dark, like West Indian vibe. This one It's supposed to be more like a regular hip hop beat. Real simple. But then I jazz it up a little. And we added a different sample to the end just to switch it up. Once again, just going through different sections of the track and just adding more and more for each opportunity to switch things up. I like to have fun. I wanted to keep while I chop it up. So my name is Peace Show. That's how I made it. Yeah, guys. Word. Opening the floor to my fellow brethren.
I love this beat. I love this beat. Yo, P, I think you've really found your lane, man. It's like everything you do. It's like, first off, we get the long set, you know what I mean? Like, I really enjoy every time that you're just rocking your beat and like playing live. Cause you're using the live version of Ableton, right?
It's all one version. I have the full Ableton suite, but
yeah, I'm saying the live
everything
elements, I guess.
Yeah, right. It's just the controllers. Anyone who has Ableton can do the same thing.
Yo, I have a question for you. So I just really want to know why it worked. And before you told us what it was, I was like, yo, that's so dope. You found a sample of somebody saying, I was so scared or I was so afraid. When you told us what it was, I want to know why you know that the video exists.
That Bjork?
Like that's what I want to know. Yeah. Like, I mean, it worked. It was so dope. And I'm like, yo, shoot, that's dope. It's a dope sample. Like, that's pretty amazing. But you can't tell people you know that video exists.
you went down the YouTube rabbit hole?
Yeah, he did. It was like 4 in the morning one day.
I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it. You gotta watch this crazy video on YouTube. Bjork's talking about television.
Did you have to go through like the dark?
It's a fun video to watch. I didn't even have time to really go through it. There were some other parts I wanted to sample with it, but I wanted something weird. Like I wanted to go somewhere tonight. I wanted to go to a different world. You know,
that was a different world for sure. That beat is nice, man. And that I just tweeted out the Bjork video too, by the way.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah.
But about the beat, I have a question though. So when you have, and this is about Ableton and the beat, when you have that red line down here.
So that represents. I'm glad you asked. Those are the two controllers. So the yellow box represents the APC, and if you notice, the APC has 6 channels, whereas the Akai has, I think, or the Launchpad X has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 3 more channels. So that's why the red box is the Launchpad, and the yellow box is the APC. So each one of these rows are the rows here on the channels. And if you look at the colors, you can see they correspond to the colors on the Launchpad. So that's how you know where you are.
So do they automatically assign themselves, or you have to set the color?
Yeah, no, it's automatic. As soon as you plug it in, it populates. It auto-populates. Yeah, the connectivity and the ease of use is crazy. And the only reason I have problems is because I need to upgrade my PC, and my USB just can't handle all the data. But it's awesome when you get two controllers rocking because you can just do whatever you want.
Controller. That's dope.
But
One day you're gonna have like six controllers.
Well, what was the first sample? The audio, the movie sample. What was that from?
It's from Doctor Who.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
it sounded wild. Like in the beginning, I was like, "What is that in the background?" I couldn't really hear it all the way.
I was waiting for him to say, "And the rowers keep on rowing, and they're not showing." Was he talking about cell regeneration or something, man?
Yeah, he was
Never
just.
Never mind. You know what? Never mind. Wrong show. Wrong show.
You don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
No, because then I'll be on live looking up shit like that all night. So no.
Word, thanks guys, but I want to acquiesce to Corey, let him rock out.
Right.
Acquiesce.
Look at that. Big words.
Big words, bro.
You have been acquiesced to.
All right. Let me get into this app. Okay, cool.
Ah, shit. Mad tracks. I'm muting myself now.
There we go. Hopefully you can hear that because the track's about to play. All right. What's up, everybody? This is Corey, Cheeky CP, and this is how I made this beat. This is my track sampling Tame Impala, and here we go. All right. So let's break this beat down. So this week was fun. Tame Impala is a dope band. I listened to like every one of their albums. And the first two albums are just crazy good and super reverby and wet. And that third album of theirs, I don't know what it's called. It looks like it has like a marble on the top of it or the front of it, whatever. That album was the one that I found some stuff that was less guitar centric and a little bit more like synth based. And basically what I did was I just went kind of like old school Dilla-esque going on here, where I just took a million different chops and then just played around with the beat. So let me see if I can actually find the chops that I made. This could be it. Who knows? Let's find out. So let me show you the sample. So the beat I sampled was called "'Cause I'm a Man." And it's like a really slow song. It's really interesting. And let me pull it up. It is this sample right here. And let me get back to the track and let's see if we can play it. So, okay, I'm not sure if you can hear that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what Beatmaker 3 allows you to do is essentially take any sample. Here's the sample. And you could really quick just click auto slice and you could choose how many slices you want to have it chop it up into. And you could just bump it up to the highest amount of pads that there are. There are 64 pads here. So you do auto chop 64 pads. And then what you can do is go in to each chop and move where it says 1 on the left-hand side and 1 on the right-hand side. I can actually move that left and right and really just find the start of each little chop of what I thought sounds good. So I went through all 64 and just listened. But my goal was to find bass kicks and to find snares. So you could hear a lot of these chops are snare heavy, but then you could hear like all the other transients that are included with it, right? So you get this kind of like Dilla feel after a while, right? But the cool thing is this will map it automatically to the pads, and then you get to be creative. So I spent like a little bit of time just kind of breaking down, you know, these different samples until I found something that sounded really good. And I found that, which is a really good kick. And it sounded like he was saying time, and then another snare here. And then, so I just kind of built the beat really simple. I love the singer's voice. And I think Piso mentioned that it like reminded him of like old school Beatles. I don't know why. Some of their older albums kind of have that like John Lennon-esque type of feel to the vocal samples. So I just played this out. And actually, if I solo this right now, you can actually see the pattern that it is. It's really not crazy at all. It's just pretty simple. So that's the main part of the sample. And at the very end of the sample, I kind of turn the beat around. So that's just the loop, and it's that's an 8-bar loop. And then what I did was I added drums to it. So we were talking about this before. You find a really good sample as just like a lover of beats. I would let that rock and I could listen to that over and over and over. But I had to leave room for a vocalist. So I basically took that same sample, put some filters on it. I put a low pass filter on it. And then I let the high pass bleed through. And that's actually something you could hear here. Listen. So every time you hear like a little bit accent, that's the version that has all the highs included with it playing through. So you have the low pass where it's like low enough where a vocalist you'll still be able to hear him over that part of the song. And then really I took this week to kind of play around with different techniques I don't mess with, and I kind of just try to figure it out. So the technique that I focused on was just playing stuff out on MIDI and then taking the audio, bouncing it down, and then reversing it. So you'll see 2 tracks that say reverse piano. Another one was like a pads instrument that I reversed. So when you listen to it, you kind of get this. So I pushed that back in the track, and really the chords are just accenting what I heard from what I played in the chops. So you get, the sample alone sounds great, but with this accented in the back, you could almost build the track just like kind of like reimagine the track just with your own instruments. So I'm going to show you exactly what that might sound like if you were saying like, okay, I took the sample, now I want to remove the sample altogether, it could sound something like this. So yeah, so that's kind of just showing you, some people have talked about, well, how do I get past like a beat block? One way to do that is to play around with samples, get inspiration with what you make, and then remove those samples altogether. And you could kind of imagine what that might sound like. This is kind of showing you what that could be, because right there I played the track without any of the samples, but all of the instrumentation was kind of birthed from the track itself. I did play bass on this track. So it has like a bouncy feel and like a happy feel, but like without the sample, and it sounds kind of, I don't know, kind of funny altogether. But with the sample included, all of those elements really accent everything. Okay, so the last part of the song was just a completely separate beat idea that I wanted to incorporate as kind of like an outro. And I, again, did the same exact thing. I took all those chops and I just found the regions that sounded really good. This bass drum here, this third chop, is the bulk of what's happening here. So. So I wanted to kind of build that out a little bit more, but I thought it would sound good as an outro because it's a different feel altogether. Yeah, and what else did I do here? I just did kind of like just some keys, like Twinkle Twinkle in the background. You could hear that here. But that's it. That's how I made the beat. So I'm going to open it up here to the guys. Anything you guys want to see? Any questions here?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I need you to scroll all the way to the right. I need you to play us all of that.
All right, let's do it. This is going to sound like trash. You ready?
Yep.
Oh boy, I'm scared.
I noticed that you keep I noticed that you keep like a notepad on your beats. Like you keep like there's always more beat off to the right that you don't play. And I always wonder, like, is that like your reference, like your footnotes for your production?
This is, a lot of it is MIDI. I'll bring in, like, I'm having serious RAM issues with just using the iPad. And in fact, I'm about to upgrade. So watch out. But
yes, watch out.
What I'm doing is I'm just pulling in an instrument and then playing it out on MIDI, but I want to save the MIDI. So I'll bounce that track down into audio. And that's why you see really tracks 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are like all sequences. The drums is sequenced here on track 1. Then like the pads for the chops, and then the keys, and then some more percussion. Then everything else is bounced out audio, right? So it's like something that I played on a virtual instrument, and then, you know, all of that lives here just so I have reference. So if I ever wanted to like pull up, wait, what did I play on the piano? It's still here, and I could kind of just dig it up.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I really don't have many questions for you when you do your like breakdown, because it's you're so thorough with everything. It's like I really only be asking you questions about words you said. So I have words you said that I have questions about. I put them in the chat. First, I said this beat is so smooth, not with an H, without the H. It's so smooth. And
All
then you
right.
said reverby and wet, and I put reverby and together. So now we have a new term, reverby and wet. So whenever a beat sounds like that, it's called reverby and wet. And then the last thing, you were breaking down the concept of sampling, laying over the beat, and then taking the beat out. Now I know that Timberland used to call that ghosting. Now,
Oh,
is
okay.
that something that you prefer to do, or is that just another method that you use?
No, that's something that I didn't know that was a term, but I've been hearing other producers talk about it, and I think by doing these challenges, it's kind of showing more and more where that really is a true technique that would work and make sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
this might be a bad example because the heart and soul of this beat is really in the sample.
Right.
But if you had enough time, and I didn't really have enough time, I could have built upon those chords and play different instruments that weren't just like, embellishments, but more like the body of the beat. You know what I mean? So I think, if does Timbo do that? Cause that makes sense, man. Cause it's like, it's
Not
definitely
anymore.
okay.
He used to. That was a big thing that he used to do when a lot of people were trying to figure out how he got away with like making beats that sounded like samples that weren't samples.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Well, there is definitely the technique of just like using a sample and then trying to recreate that sample specifically. Just like replaying it on different instruments, like I did last week with the Doors.
Yeah.
But if you just completely remove a sample altogether, then that's another thing that you could do. And if it's called ghosting, that's awesome, because I'm gonna start using that term now, because I think especially if you like, I just lost and have no inspiration or know where to start, grab a sample and play over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey, I heard about that ghosting term from Timberland, like a while ago. So that's definitely a thing that he does. And a thing that
Oh wow.
This was like 10 years ago though, so don't worry, you're safe.
But it's very dope beat. You sampled I'm a Man. That's Tame Impala song is really, really dope. If you have a chance to listen to the lyrics that he sings in it are really dope. And that album with the marble on it looks like a Trapper. That's Currents, which is like one of their best albums, because that's when they departed from like guitars and went like psychedelic synths like fully. And like, it has, and it's very, that's the song that has the record on it that Rihanna used.
Yeah.
I could think this guy.
It's so funny. That's exactly like two of the people that you mentioned, the Doors. For some reason, I was like, I bet you Alex is picking the Doors. I bet you he remembers the Jay-Z song. And this track, I was like, I wonder if Alex has heard the Rihanna song. Both of your selections, I was like, what is the inspiration behind why you chose these artists?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I started listening to Tame Impala before Currents, and it was Stone Phalanges who put me on. He actually was like, "Yo, you should check these guys out," and it was with those first two Reverby and Wet albums, Lonerism and Inner Speaker. Those first two albums were really, and I like the Beatles, so when I listen to it, it's like, oh, this sounds like some Beatles shit, but like updated. And then, so when Currents hit, it was like, wow. And then their newest album, The Slow Rush, was also very good. But yeah, man, let me stop talking about Tame Impala. Let's talk about the beat. I thought that it was really well done. You stepped outside of your zone, because you don't usually chop like this.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different. It's different from what you typically do. So I thought that was really cool that you decided to do that.
Yo, P, did you just throw Reverby and Wet in there and not like with a straight face?
Yeah, pretty much.
I was waiting for you to like, or let us know you were like using it.
It's copyright.
That's dope, man. Oh shit! Damn, I can't even say it no more. I'm not thinking of anything.
But yeah, man, bravo, great job, fellas, both of you guys did excellent this week.
Nice. Yo, so one last thing. Can you start the beat over? Like, just play the beginning of the beat.
Yeah.
Okay. That might be the hottest way that I've heard a beat start in a long time.
Yeah, man. All I did. So this is I forgot where I there's some band that I learned this from. I don't even know what the name of the track is, but so I took the full loop, the 8-bar loop. It's just right here. Actually, I took the 8-bar loop and I chopped just the end of the loop. You could see this is the whole joint, but this is just the last bar, right? And then I'm using automation. So I'm trying to get into automation as much as I can because there's so much power in, especially when you are arranging a track on where you want to like turn the dynamic level up or down or do different things, right? So all I'm doing here is I'm changing the pitch all the way down from 0 all the way up to the actual pitch of the song. So you can see what is happening is it's the last 4 bars stretched into 2 bars.
Nice.
So what is playing is it's just like what Alex can do on when he has like his knobs, when he's tweaking his knobs. You can change the semitones, the ST, the tuning from 0 all the way into the actual pitch of the song. And when you do that, it's like taking something really slow and speeding it up. And
yeah, it sounded like what it sounded like to me was like, you know how if you leave a needle on a record and you walk away, you turn it off, you come back and you turn it back on. That's how it sounds like you're restarting a record player. I was dope.
Yeah, you could even take like if I took this and doubled the amount of like time, it'll sound really wild here. And then obviously you could change where the start is so it'll fall right into the song, right?
Dope.
So
I like that.
Yeah. All right.
Good stuff.
So all right, let's break this down. Break out your flowers, fellas.
I think both of you guys did a fantastic job. I really think with every week you guys get better and better. With that being said, I'm gonna have to give my flowers to E because he went and did the full Monty and he created a full record.
I'm laughing because of Corey's message. He was like, yo, wait. So at the beginning of this thing, I was like, yo, we got to keep it under an hour. And then Corey was like, and then I called.
Hey, guys, I really want to keep this episode down to 1 hour. So then on track 44, I called up...
Call Jay-Z. He was like,
Chia. Okay, cool. All right. I'm going to also give my flowers to E because that was a really nice track.
So wait, Corey. So I got to tell you, you inspired that track. Let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
So you had made a track weeks ago, and it was very conscious, very related to what was going on in the world. And when I started working on this track, I was like, originally it was going to be about just like personal stuff. I'm like, nah, that'd be selfish. There's so much going on in the world right now. Like, it needs to be about something bigger than me. And I thought about your track that you made, and then that's what inspired me to make this track. So that actually goes out to you.
All right.
And for my flowers this week, I'm gonna give them to Corey. But P, you killed it.
Thank you, sir.
Do not ever want to go into the deep web with you on these videos you're in though. Cause yo, listen, that was hot that you incorporated that kind of stuff into the I don't even know what to say. Like that. I felt like, you know how parents are like, you always listen to music. How come you don't turn your homework into music? That's what that sounded like. Like you turned something you were studying into a track.
No, Alex is on another level, man. That was like a Vision Quest beat. You know what I mean?
You really need to like make like a whole playlist of that and just have like a character and just vibe out. I'm telling you, dude, like a whole channel of that shit.
Yeah. And the amount of time that you're taking when you break down the beat or when you play the beat in the beginning is what I'm loving too. Cause it's like, I'm just closing my eyes and vibing for like 5 minutes.
Look at P's face though right now, okay? He looks like he's really paying us attention, but he's scrolling because we can see it through his glasses.
I'm gonna get some Twitter responses.
He's shopping.
He's shopping online. He's not even shopping on Amazon. He's shopping on eBay right now.
I'm trying to buy a new bass guitar so I can be like Corey.
Yo,
nice.
Do it. Well, wait till you guys see what I'm about to upgrade to.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not.
Ooh, no more iPad. No more iPad.
Oh, you about to get the joint? Did you tell me about?
We'll see. We'll see what happens this week. We'll see.
All right, Word up. All right, so how we doing this next week, man? Are we flipping
spinning the wheel?
Are we spinning the wheel? We're spinning the wheel. I won't break formation just yet.
All right, let's spin the wheel. Let's do how many dummy spins?
Oh, wait. No. Before I go, big shout out to Ashley and Chanel, though. Came through in the clutch. And honestly, I got those vocals this morning. And I got Ashley's vocals at like 8 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's amazing.
Kudos to them. Both busy, both parents, both, are crazy vocalists, but just, came through in the clutch for me. So kudos to them.
Absolutely. And if you are a lyricist, you want to donate any time or services to any of the producers here, hit us up. We'll have you sing a hook or something like that. I did not. So Alex is habitually not entering in a new challenge when he takes one away. So in the place of number 9, it says viewer request. So we've been getting some requests just from viewers and fans and people who are watching the show. So we're building a list. So if you have something that you want to add to the board here, we could add it on. I think the 2 requests that we got were someone who wanted us to flip Phil Collins in the Air Tonight, and then someone else wanted us to flip anything by Elvis. So
let's not even do it. Nope. We have a viewer request. We're going to take the first viewer request. We're going to take Phil Collins, and then we're going to do Elvis Presley in 3 weeks. But let's definitely take the viewer request right now. Even though
we're all 3 of us are going to try to flip the same record?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Listen, that's what they want to see. They're watching. We're here for them. We got to do it. We didn't even got to spin this week. I didn't realize I forgot about that.
Okay, well, that solves the spinning question.
Let's make that happen.
Pete,
this is gonna be spicy.
Pete, you feel that? You feel that? You good? You down with that?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for all of us to work on the same record, pull from the same track.
All right, I'm excited.
I like the idea, and I also like the fact that people are getting engaged, and like the fact that people are sending what they want to hear us do. So I think, with all respect to that, I definitely think we should rock those 2 out.
All right.
So let's make it fun. Since we have a request for Phil Collins in the Air Tonight and a request for Elvis, you can pick whichever, and we surprise each other next week. Who will be chose. So you can pick from either one of those.
Either one. Okay.
Extra points if we use both.
No extra points. No points anymore. I need the points. But I do have a question. Who were the people who suggested them? Because we got to shout them out.
They chose to be anonymous.
Cool. All right. Well, big shout out to
How do they submit? How can we submit it
anonymously? He can't tell you because it's anonymous.
That's a secret.
Right.
I'll tell you offline.
It's his son. Word. Well, thank you all for coming out tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that.
All right.
So, next week we'll be back with a sample either from Phil Collins or Elvis Presley. In the Air Tonight, specifically by Phil Collins, or In the Air Tonight, or Elvis Presley. Interestingly enough, I was watching this thing. It was like a chart that showed all the artists from like 1970 something up until 2019. And I'll find the link and send it to you guys. But it was like a graph, like a visual, actual moving graph, and showed all the artists that were the top selling artists over the years for that time frame. And it's interesting to see how music has transitioned. It was very interesting when Michael Jackson popped up on the scene. That was one of the first artists that was not that was of color. that kind of like broke into that realm where top selling artists. And then from there it was like Whitney Houston came in, and then Prince came in. Well, Prince came in, then Whitney Houston came in, and then Jay-Z, Kanye, Eminem got up there, like all these people. But it was really cool to see. It was like an actual moving graph. You would see like them trading places, and Beatles were up there.
Dude, you're talking about Data is Beautiful. It's a YouTube channel. I'm gonna send you the link. They do all those types of things.
Yo,
It's
that
like
is incredible.
It's one of my favorite YouTube channels. I'm gonna send you the link.
Oh shit, you watch that too all the time?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, big shout out to Data is Beautiful, because that's amazing to see that. I need them to make like a 3 Beats Later one. All right. Well, anyway, everybody, thank you for coming through. We'll see you next week on 3 Beats Later. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.